NBC Saturday Night at the Movies presents Billy Jack, starring Tom Laughlin and Dolores Taylor.
Family Plot, starring Karen Black, Bruce Dern, Barbara Harris, and William Devane.
America loves Rambo, and NBC's got him in the action-packed movie that'll leave you cheering for more.
Don't push it. I'll give you a war you won't believe.
He's the ultimate human weapon.
I didn't come here to rescue Rambo from you. I came here to rescue you from him.
One man against an entire army. 100% action, 100% suspense, 100% Stallone. First Blood, next.
Airport, 1975. One of the most spectacular and suspenseful movies ever produced. Charlton Heston and Karen Black had a huge all-star cast.
We're flying into the mountains.
Everything will be just fine.
Airport, 1975. Saturday at 9, 8 Central Time after Chips on NBC.
John Boyd and Burt Reynolds star in Deliverance.
It's Halloween, the night he came home. When the deepest fears are made real. When the darkest nightmares come true. When the most courageous soul cowers in the face of evil. First time on TV, a modern horror classic from John Carpenter. Parental discretion advised. This film contains elements of shock and suspense. And now, Halloween, you won't be watching it alone.
Legend of the Golden Gun. There once was a man who rode the West in search of justice, driven by revenge.
I swear I'll kill him.
He strives to learn from a legendary gunfighter
Boy, you got real possibilities.
who teaches him to fight evil and injustice and to become the legend of the Golden Gun. Tuesday.
Here are some of the big movies in May on NBC. Thursday, it's a night of kings, starting with King Kong. The immortal story of Beauty and the Beast as it's never been told before. Then The Curse of King Tut, based on a true story. From beyond the grave, Tut guards his treasures with a curse. Raymond Burr stars in a TV premiere. And there's Capricorn 1. It was the first manned spaceflight to Mars. Or was it? A star-studded TV premiere. 3 blockbusters starting Thursday on NBC.
1955, there were things a fashionable girls' school didn't teach, but that didn't stop the girls.
Is he? What, communist? No, going to seduce you.
Death of Her Innocence, starring Parker Stevenson and Pamela Sue Martin.
Abby!
Intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion advised. Monday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain after Little House on the Prairie.
Two accidents in two parks 2,000 miles apart without leaving a trace. That means a working knowledge of structural engineering, demolition, and probably electronics.
You will only hear this once. Do exactly what I say.
The drop is tomorrow.
But we have one advantage.
What's that?
Clothing. Thanks a lot.
Harry.
Yeah.
You know what happens when you don't follow directions.
Tell them to stop it.
They started.
Let's go.
They're over the lift. It's too late to stop them now.
And now, on Monday night at the movies, Roller Coaster.
Tonight, the dramatic conclusion of The Last Convertible.
Oh, you only went because you wanted to be with her.
When the lies of the past erupt into the present.
So you're good for a courier? Jumping in and screwing up other people?
No!
We plan our lives and accidents control them.
I had to hear it from Chris. I asked her point blank if that boy of hers was mine or Dallas.
And now from the best-selling novel that spans 3 decades, The Last Convertible.
She returned to Peyton Place, mysteriously, and things began to happen.
Some of us think that maybe he was murdered.
She got what she wanted, and what she wanted most was revenge.
I intend to destroy Peyton Place.
Stella Stevens and original series stars including Dorothy Malone and Ed Nelson in a gripping movie, Murder in Peyton Place. Monday, October 3rd at 9, 8 Central and Mountain Time, right after Little House on the Prairie.
A cruise ship races with death when there's a mysterious killer on board.
We're gonna have to get out of here.
They're dead! There are men aboard this ship that are dead!
Patty Duke Aston, Claude Akins, and an all-star cast trapped at sea and dying one at a time.
Those passengers know about this. We'll have a mass hysteria on our hands.
Are we supposed to just sit around waiting to die?
Killer on Board, a world premiere movie. Monday, October 10th at 9, 8 Central and Mountain Time.
NBC proudly presents
a galaxy of great movie stars coming this fall. You'll see the brightest stars in the biggest box office bonanzas. You'll see heroes and heroines. And you'll see the roughest and the toughest. We've got them all.
Have a ball.
This fall, see why we're
NBC proud as a peacock.
King Kong loves Jessica Lange.
I'm a Libra. What sign are you?
Watch her bring out the animal in him as obsessive desire becomes an unforgettable 3-hour movie spectacular. And this tall, dark stranger takes this Oscar nominee to new heights in the colossal new King.
Terrorists
Terraces, a kind of vertical patent place where every tenant has a view of every other tenant.
I'll believe I'm pretty if you believe you kiss good.
I can't have her, I'm sorry. We'll see each other less often. I won't make any demands. Please don't make me run again.
You girls like sex? Sometimes. Always.
Terraces, first time on TV, starring Lloyd Buckner and Julie Newmar.
I woke up this morning and I had these terrible vibrations. I knew everything was going to be wrong.
Monday at 9:30, 8:30 Central and Mountain Time.
Saturday Night at the Movies presents The Land That Time Forgot, starring Doug McClure.
Saturday Night at the Movies presents Man from Atlantis, starring Patrick Duffy and Belinda Montgomery.
If you don't get to Lil before she hits the Madison Street station at 11:15, she'll tip off every cop in Chicago.
A young mastermind and 4 female accomplices plan a daring and complex crime. Freddie Prinze stars in The $1 Million Ripoff, part of a double feature night at the movies, just before Panic in Echo Park. Tomorrow, starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time on NBC.
Here are just a few of the big ones coming to television for the first time during NBC's 1977 season. Rooster Cogburn. 2 Academy Award winners in one great movie. John Wayne and Katharine Hepburn.
To whom do you think you are talking, Marshal?
You is to whom I think I'm talking, sister.
He's True Grit's boozing, woman-baiting Rooster Cogburn. She's a lady, yet any man's match.
I do not fear a skunk. I simply do not care for his odor.
Hallelujah!
And guess who's going to rule the roost?
Marshal Cogburn, you're in a sorry state.
No man alive likes to be called high-smelling and low down.
The oddest couple, the toughest pair, eyeball to eyeball or shoulder to shoulder.
You got the gun, but you ain't got the know-how to use it.
John Wayne and Katharine Hepburn. Gable and Lombard. They don't love like that anymore. He was every man's ideal and every woman's fantasy. Everyone knows Gable, but wait till you meet Lombard. She was all woman and one of the boys.
Why don't you take your lunch and shove it up your moviola?
She's a nice girl. She's friendly, cooperative.
I wouldn't work with that loud-mouthed, fat-headed punk if she was the last dame in Hollywood.
Oh, you know her?
Sorry, ain't much of a dancer.
She was funny.
Honey, you ain't much of anything.
She was beautiful. She was Gable's.
I can come and go as I please. You think I want to be with you every minute? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
But my boy, romance becomes everybody's business when it's between 2 movie stars and one of them is still married. What do you think they're going to do when they see a married man cavorting around with an unmarried lady in public? They're going to run him out of the business, Clark.
Nobody's ever going to beat us.
James Brolin and Jill Clayburgh star in a love affair that shocked and delighted the world. Gable and Lombard. Hard Times. 1933. It was hard times. A man had to live by his wits or by his fists.
Now, tell me, how do you make money?
I knock people down.
Charles Bronson is Cheney, a drifter, a loner, a man who spoke soft.
I barely know you.
Yeah, but would you like to?
And hit hard. James Coburn is the born con man.
I propose a toast to the best man I know. Me.
The hustler and the hitter. Together, they can't be beat. Hard Times is a knockout. Little Big Man.
Take my advice. Go west.
The West was filled with warriors, preachers' wards, gunfighters, hermits and soldiers. And Jack Crabb lived long enough to be all of them. Dustin Hoffman stars in Little Big Man.
Sure I'm wise. Didn't you hear me say, God bless George Washington? God bless my mother. I mean, now what kind of Indian would say a fool thing like that?
Watch Dustin Hoffman come clean with Faye Dunaway.
You do realize that, don't you, dear Jack?
Oh, Lord. Yes, miss.
Little Big Man. And there'll be a whole other side to Dustin Hoffman when he confronts the burning question,
Who is Harry Kellerman, and why is he saying those terrible things about me?
The Reavers. Steve McQueen is a Reaver, and a Reaver is a rascal. And two Reavers are a riot.
It is not fun! You ever want to reach your manhood, sometimes you gotta say goodbye to the things you know. And hello to the things you don't.
You still think you're gonna get married out of this place? All those girls standing out there in their underwear, throwing rice at you as you go out the front door?
Steve McQueen and Sharon Farrell star in William Faulkner's unforgettable journey to Memphis via the highway of hijinks. The Reavers. Farewell, my lovely. Robert Mitchum, the last of the tough guys.
Your name's Phil, isn't it?
Philip, what's yours?
Helen, kiss me.
Philip Marlowe, up to his private eyes in murder, mystery, and mayhem.
Leave off carrying me, will you? I can walk by myself. I'm all grown up now. I go to the bathroom by myself and everything.
Robert Mitchum and Charlotte Rampling star in Raymond Chandler's sizzling murder classic, Farewell, My Lovely, the disaster movie. In the great tradition of box office blockbusters, the Hindenburg, the heralded flying machine that died amid ashes and rumors. What really happened on the Hindenburg?
No!
Why was the Gestapo on board?
Arrest for Spar Douglas Olivan. Brilliant program.
What was Operation K?
They picked up my passport.
Starring George C. Scott, Anne Bancroft, and an all-star cast. 62 people lived to tell the story. Was it sabotage?
What the devil were you doing up there?
And accidents?
You've only got about 15 minutes.
An act of God?
Less than 10 minutes left. You're all gonna die. There's a bomb.
What really happened on the Hindenburg?
This is terrible. It's a terrific. Oh, the humanity.
And that's only the beginning. There'll be more great movies with stars like Academy Award winner Goldie Hawn as the girl from Petrovka, Alan Alda, and Richard Widmark star in The Moonshine War. Lee Marvin is Monty Walsh, the last of the cowboys. W.C. Fields and Me. Academy Award winner Rod Steiger stars as the irrepressible W.C. Fields.
I'll try this the hard way.
The king of the one-liners, W.C. Fields.
Never give a sucker an even break.
Dean Martin, planning something big. From Francis Ford Coppola, the man who brought you The Godfather, The Rain People, starring James Caan of The Godfather.
Can I have a ride?
George Siegel plays a lethal game of Russian roulette.
There's something screwy going on. I got a feeling I'm being set up.
These are only some of the stars and box office hits coming from the silver screen to NBC in '77. NBC presents a special preview. The biggest stars in their movie hits among the blockbusters you'll NBC this fall on our great movie nights. Airport 77. Starring Jack Lemmon, Brenda Vaquero, Christopher Lee, Lee Grant, Joseph Cotton, Olivia de Havilland, James Stewart, George Kennedy, and Darren McGavin. All new, bigger, more exciting than Airport 1975. Airport 77, a private 747, a billionaire's luxurious plaything.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad you could join us.
I've lost contact with 23 Sierra.
6:04 p.m. Flight 23 crashes into the Bermuda Triangle.
You get down! Get down!
6:09 p.m. Passengers still alive, trapped underwater.
Chambers flew us a couple of 100 miles off course. The search planes will never look for us here.
There's no chance so far.
We're on our own.
What'll we do?
Calm down.
Run out of air for
I said calm down!
My daughter and my grandson are on that plane.
Don't get too close to the door.
Panic in an underwater tomb. Can they be saved? An unforgettable adventure. Airport 77 with an all-star cast. The Cassandra Crossing. You're going for a ride on the Transcontinental Express, and it's one you'll never forget. Sophia Loren, Richard Harris, Burt Lancaster, Ava Gardner, and O.J. Simpson in a heart-pounding suspense drama.
Now listen carefully, Doctor. There's a plague carrier on that train. Find him, Doctor.
The entire train will be completely sealed at Nuremberg.
The train is sealed, the passengers trapped. And the train is speeding toward the Cassandra Crossing.
The Cassandra Crossing. It's unsafe.
Any passengers attempting to escape from that train must be stopped, shot, and killed.
You're all going to die.
The Cassandra Crossing. Audrey Rose. The mother, the father, the child, the stranger.
He's going to harm us. It's Ivy he's after.
The past, the present, the nightmare, the terror.
I saw her burn her hands on a cold window.
Marsha Mason and Anthony Hopkins in Audrey Rose. The novel of reincarnation is now a spellbinding motion picture.
Never the child!
We're both a part of this child.
It will alter your ideas about life after death forever. And that's only the beginning. There's more. Paul Newman is the Macintosh Man in John Huston's international thriller. Jane Fonda and Donald Sutherland in Steelyard Blues. Patton, George C. Scott in his extraordinary Academy Award-winning performance. What's Up, Doc, starring Barbara Streisand and Ryan O'Neal. St. Ives, Charles Bronson and Jacqueline Bisset in a chilling drama of bribery and murder. Burnt Offerings, starring Betty Davis, Karen Black, and Oliver Reed. The Drowning Pool, starring Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward. These are only some of the outstanding motion pictures, the biggest stars, and the box office hits you'll NBC on our great movie nights.